I learn a lot from like old masters and even like major ads, like major corporations. They put a lot of money into the thought process behind an ad and the simplicity of things. So you can learn a lot from that, but you can learn a lot just from the real world, just from nature. And so we sometimes have to take a step back and understand like what's around us and see like, wow, that's beautiful.
Welcome to the Miracle Academy. This is your host, Scotty Cooper, and this is where miracles are expected. Welcome to the Miracle Academy podcast. This is your host, Scotty Cooper. Today I've got two of my really good friends, Alberto and Jennien, Ahumada. They have been friends of ours for a really long time, and they do really cool stuff. They are artists, and they are the ones that actually designed our office. And the big thing that we really noticed was that environments are more powerful than just willpower. And we were thinking about how the fifth branch of philosophy is aesthetics, which is the artistic representation of what you believe or your philosophical beliefs. So I remember when we designed this office, I came to you guys and said, hey, we want to create a loving, fun, amazing environment. How do we do that? And then you guys just took it and ran with it. And so how were you able to see this vision of what this became? How were you guys able to do that?
Do you want to go?
Thanks.
Thanks for having us here, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't really difficult. It was kind of easy to do because you already had something amazing going on. Your just aesthetics wasn't there. And so the concept, like your belief, everything was already in place. It was just a matter of taking that and making it like visually be aesthetic. And it was only going to complement what was already going on, what was already great.
Mm-hmm.
And we could do that. We could go to other businesses or even homes and analyze something just from the aesthetics point of view and say like, wow, we could improve this. And for your guys' situation, it was really easy to accomplish that because you already had something amazing. Mm-hmm. You were just driving a Pinto when you could be in a Ferrari, you know? And so we just elevated that to that next level.
Yeah.
And I think once you guys did that, it did elevate you guys' complete, like it made you guys go full circle.
Right.
And that's ultimately what we know how to do, what we do best.
Right.
Is how to make things just look amazing.
Yeah.
And work.
Right.
So it has function, besides just aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
So that was an easy one.
Yeah, that's cool. I think the thing is when people walk into the office, they feel it immediately. They walk in and they're like, wow. Like, and it still happens from the day we opened this center to now, it still happens. Every new person that walks in, like, you kind of see it hit their eyes like, wow. And it's amazing that you guys were able to see that because what it looked like in this space didn't look anything like what it looks like now. And
Sure.
I'm sure we can put little videos on there so everyone can see what that looked like. But that was always impressive to me that you were able to do that. And the thing that I like too was that your guys' attention to detail was so amazing because, like, for instance, you guys painted the little electrical plugs, right? Like, you made everything, like, I wouldn't have even thought, like, I would have thought, like, oh, that little white spot is going to stay white. But you guys actually hand painted it and made it beautiful. And so where does a lot of that come from? Where does a lot of the eye for those things, how did you guys develop that just over time? How did you guys really do that?
He's been an artist since he was little. He's been talented and since he was a kid. And, growing up, he entered lots of art competitions. And I think that's where his detail comes from. I didn't start working with him until like about 6 years ago. So we've become a team now, but I don't know, we bounce off each other with things, but he's very good at the details of everything.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. So in our experience with business and meeting new clients, and understanding people have different wants and needs and live different lifestyles, and that there's kind of like that's the foundation, and then we just build on that, and we learn a lot from our clients. So before we start designing, we like to understand who they are, what they're about, and how we can actually help level their life experience up, and not just, how much are they going to spend. That's really not ever really a question. I mean, there may be some budgets constraints, but more importantly is how are we going to make something that just, it's perfect. It's going to make them, it's the vehicle to get them to a new place.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, for me, it kind of comes natural, but I do learn a lot from our clients. And so we start realizing like, hey, this person needs this person needs, simplicity, or this person is very complex. We can give them a balance, we can give them the opposite. Sometimes this person is not very willing for change. So how do we implement that without offending them? And then they have the opportunity to discover something new about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh wow, like I didn't even know I like that.
Yeah.
And so we just we love to design and create and inspire and add value to other people's lives. And it's more complex than just selecting color, selecting a piece of floor, a piece of carpet, textiles, all that. It goes beyond that,
right?
And starts understanding who that person is and how it's going to create like in a space that the team's going to like be grounded in one place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was interesting. I was here one time, and I was standing over here, and the UPS guy came, and I thought he needed a signature, and I said, oh, let me go get somebody. And he goes, no, I just like to take a fresh some fresh air like when I'm here, because this place is so nice. I said, oh, do you get adjusted? He goes, no, but I get fulfillment just standing here.
Wow.
I was like, wow, that's cool. Like, we designed it.
Here's my card.
Yeah. No.
That's awesome.
For sure.
That's cool. So what do you guys think is the biggest difference between having someone like you that's an artist versus someone that's just a builder or a contractor or something? What do you think is the biggest glaring difference between an artist and that?
The details, for sure. Because when contractors come in and do things, they just strictly do things by the plans, and they put a light switch in the middle of the wall, like random stuff like that, or they'll put like the recess lighting not symmetrical or just off, and so definitely the details of things, like
just a passion.
Yeah.
The understanding of aesthetics, and we just pay attention deeply into the details.
Right.
And we care. I mean, that's the most important part, I think, is it's not just another project.
Right.
It's something that's important. It's part of our portfolio. It's part of what people know us by, and it's our signature. So it's really important to us.
Yeah.
Sure.
So you mentioned passion, and that's like, passion is one of my core values. It's also one of the core values of Cooperstown Chiropractic, is that we want to have compassion and passion. But the thing that I find is that I'm drawn to people that are also passionate about what they do. And like for you guys, that's one of the things that I know we really align with. I mean, when I went and looked at that restaurant you guys designed, I could see the passion everywhere.
Sure.
When I saw the hand-painted mural, I was like, okay, that's passion. And there's so much detail into it. It's like, that's incredible.
Right.
And so what does passion mean to you guys?
Loving what you do. Loving being excited every day to go to work and just designing things.
Yeah, be able to create.
Yeah. And the passion too is being a role model to our kids, and showing them like you can do anything if you love it, and hopefully they follow in those footsteps one day.
Yeah, that's cool.
Absolutely.
So what do you guys do to help help your creativity continue to grow? What do you guys do to stay on top of that, to keep developing that skill?
I learn a lot from like old masters, and even like major ads, like major corporations, they put a lot of money into the thought process behind an ad and the simplicity of things. So you can learn a lot from that, but you can learn a lot just from the real world, just from nature. And so we sometimes have to take a step back and understand like what's around us and see like, wow, that's beautiful. Like, hey, look at that. Like we could look at that texture, and then you could take that and apply it to an interior or any kind of concept, and it could just evolve from there. So yeah, definitely.
Cool. What was the biggest or your favorite part about designing this office here? What was the part that stood out to you the most, or the part that you remember the most memorable for you?
There's so many elements in here, but that was a challenge. That there were so many different elements, different things going on. How do we create like a harmony? But how do we add class and style, and like make it educational? So that was a challenge. Like how do you make an oversized Baby Ruth ball not look out of place?
Right.
And then just by layering it and then putting the stadium seating in front of it. You guys had the cool idea with the TVs to make your big wall.
Yeah.
But just your Kangen water and your wall of fame. I know Cooper was really excited about his old wall of fame, and I just knew how to like top dog it. So it's like, everything he loves, how do I make him find a new love? Like divorce his old ways, and we helped him. So
my favorite for Dr. Cooper's new office or in Cooperstown was that he just let us do what we wanted to do. Like he gave what he requested or what he would like, but he ultimately just put his trust in us and was like, do it, like go for it. And I feel like our projects, when customers let us do what we envision, it comes out so much nicer.
Right. One, the busier we are and the more in demand we are, we're more selective on who we actually do work for.
Right.
And so like it's like how you were speaking about earlier, how you ask your client, your patients, are you committed like 100%? And so if you have somebody that's loves the art, loves the design, loves what we do, values what we do, and just doesn't want to showboat like their in-laws or their family, their friends, and all they're worried about is if it's going to impress them, and can you do it at my budget? Then we become passive and we say, we're not fit for the job.
Right.
It's not just that. It's, are we going to do this as a team and do it great? And so that's a really important thing to me, is the connection you have with our clients and people that hire us and trust us.
Yeah.
And and so that's one of the key things.
Yeah, for sure. So what are some of the miracles that you guys have seen of either your family or your friends that have come in after we've really created this amazing space? What are some of the miracles you guys have witnessed with us here?
A few of our family members have come in, and they get the right treatment, and if they stick to their plans and their diets, they really go full circle. My stepdad, for instance, was here just a couple years ago, and he had prostate cancer, and he, instead of doing chemo and all that stuff, he came in and Dr. Cooper did some miracles on him, and he's still, his numbers are really low, and if he continues to stick with everything, he'll continue to do good. So he was a big improvement.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And there's so many of our family members
Right.
and friends that, seen a difference. That's why you guys need to open one in our town.
Yeah, exactly.
So there could be more miracles.
That is the plan. The plan is to have Cooperstown in every neighborhood.
Yes.
And our plan is to make the same way it feels here and the aesthetics of this be in all those places.
Yeah.
Each one have its own flavor, but still have the same loving, fun, amazing atmosphere that it does here.
There's not a single place like it. Yeah, so it's one of a kind, and yeah, it's just a matter of time. You guys are gonna be in every city, and it's gonna be amazing, and people will stop questioning if it's real, because every time we talk about it, it's like, who's this wizard guy you guys always talking about? That? Like, well, you got a problem, we got the answer. You just gotta call him. You gotta get there.
That's funny.
So yeah, that'll be great once you guys start developing more locations.
Yeah,
It's gonna be amazing
I'm excited for that.
for sure.
So what are some of the your guys' favorite project that you're working on like currently right now?
We're working on our friend. His name's Dr. Chuck Barty. He's a young doctor in our town, and he's opening up his own surgery center and clinic. And we've been working on this project for a year because it was brand new construction, and so I'm pretty excited to see that come together now. Now it's all the details of everything. All the construction's done, so now it's just all the details and all of the rest of it. So
Nice.
Yeah, it's a fun project.
Yeah.
Your guys' home project was
Yes.
quite the adventure.
Right.
Working with your mom was great. Seeing her glow and get excited, and
Yeah.
That's the best part, of seeing our clients happy with the end results, and
Yeah.
being happy to be in their homes or their offices or where it's at.
yeah. When Therese had an idea, but she didn't want to run it by him, she'd like say, "You're better at talking and convincing him." So we found a way to work him.
That's so funny.
But,
Cool. So what would you guys say to someone that thinks like, you know what, I need an upgrade in my aesthetics of either my home or my office or just my environment? What is like the thing you guys tell them is like the best way to look at making that better? I mean, like you said earlier, like it elevates your life experience. So what do you say to someone that says, hey, I wanna level up my life experience via my aesthetics?
well, I have an interesting project that a few months ago, during this, quarantine, our client, Anthony Morel, he wanted to build a home office in his space, but he also wanted to double it up as a training center for his 7-year-old daughter to practice golf. So we had to build a golf simulator. And so he goes to about 4 days out of the week, and I think every day they golf. But it's very intense, and I could see the level that they're playing at, and what he was asking for and what he needed was two different things. Like, I just need a hitting net, and like, okay, well, who's the best? Like, show me where you go train. So this is like a professional outfit that he pays, monthly for. And so I went and like checked that out, and I was like, well, we can make it way better than that. If that's the best, then this industry's got some like low standards. So we made that just amazing. And so now the person that owns that facility, the training center, that's a new project of ours that we're completely revamping their concept.
Wow.
Because it's just, our client's home is better than his entire business.
That's awesome.
And so it just, and we knew that we're foreign to that entire industry, but it just understanding how in depth they were, how passionate they were about it, and finding the areas that we can improve. And so now it's amazing what it did for this current project, but it'll actually open the doors for us to move into a bigger scale project, which we'll just, here we're designing it right now.
Wow.
So that's a neat one, and that's kind of how it all happens. We always end up designing things that we know nothing about, and all of a sudden they think we're like masters at something, but we just learn from them.
Yeah.
We just see like, okay, they're doing amazing here, but like they forgot about this area. So we just kind of like fill in the little missing blocks and then give them back their process, and they move forward from there.
Wow.
So yeah, so that's we're very honored to be able to help others.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we stay so busy, and it's exciting.
That's cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, I'm always appreciative of everything you guys did for us and the way it feels and looks here. I mean, like I said, it's cool because even like vendors that come in and say like, oh, I'm here to sell a supplement, but they like pause. Like I had this guy that he had like an MRI company, and he walked in and said like, he says, how did you do this? Like, who did this? Like, this is incredible. And I'm like, thank you. Like, what's up? Why are you here? He's like, oh, like, I totally forgot. Like, I'm here. He's like, you know what? I don't even need to. Like, I just need to tell you this place is amazing. It was
so cool.
It was really funny. So, but yeah, I'm super appreciative of you guys, and thank you so much for coming. And
you guys too.
yeah. So if you want to check out more of their projects, it's One Extreme. And they've designed so many amazing, cool things. But follow them on social media. You'll see all the different cool projects they're working on. I mean, he even worked on a computer that was like, I didn't even know you could design your own thing like that. But I mean, everything they do is amazing. So thank you guys so much.
Thank
And
you, Scotty.
that was the Miracle Academy. That's where miracles are expected. Thank you.